more minutes. And Mr. Vale or Ms. Gant?
Good morning, Your Honor. I am on, and I believe that Mr. Bell may be joining us briefly.
And do we have, will the Public Defender's Office be putting up the information about how a defendant can apply for the Public Defender's Office?
Yes, Your Honor, but just to make an announcement, if you would like to apply for the services of the Public Defender's Office, in the chat, you will find either a link for an application or an email address. If you'd like to receive our services, and you can access the email, access the application in the chat by clicking, that is one way. Another way is to actually send a request for an application to our office. If you are having problems accessing the email, please, in the chat, message me, Wanda Gant, with your phone number, and I will give you a call to help you complete it. Thank you.
All right, 11:30 a.m. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Judge Law. This is the arraignment calendar for misdemeanor cases that are presently scheduled at the Fulton County State Court. These are active criminal cases with regards to the defendants. For most of the defendants, you received a citation for charging you with one or more misdemeanor offenses. You were not arrested on most of these cases that we have with us today. You were just simply given a citation, and now we have placed them on a calendar to get a status of the case. We have attorneys from the prosecutor's office, that is the Fulton County Solicitor General's office, who are present on the Zoom. And we also have attorneys from the Public Defender's Office. If you are a defendant who has received a citation for one or more criminal misdemeanor offenses, please remember that you have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything you say during the course of this virtual proceeding that's not only recorded, but also live streamed, your statements will be documented and can be used against you by the prosecutors in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, you do have a right to apply for the services of the Public Defender's Office to see if you financially qualify to receive their services. If you are looking at the chat, if you're looking at your Zoom, at the bottom of the Zoom, or maybe in your case, it may be at the top bar, you will see an option for chat, C-H-A-T. If you don't see it like that, you may have 3 dots. You may have to click on those 3 dots. There will be a pull down menu, and one of the options will be chat. Click on that, and you will see the information sent to you by the Public Defender's Office. There is a fillable application form that you need to complete and email that back to the Public Defender's Office. The email and the PDF form are attached on the chat feature. So if you want to use the services of the Public Defender's Office, you may exercise your right and fill out that application form. I will not release you from the calendar until I get confirmation that you have filled out the application, send it back, that it's been reviewed, and the PD's Public Defender's Office has made a decision. So that as soon as you click on that form and fill it out and email it back, the better. If you are represented by a private attorney, your private counsel will speak on your behalf. If you do not have counsel and you choose to waive your right to counsel and represent yourself, please understand that you are responsible for how the law applies to the particular facts of your case. Today, you will have an opportunity to discuss your case with the prosecutor, either by yourself or through an attorney, in order to see if you can resolve the criminal case brought against you. You also have a right to seek a trial. If you would like a bench trial, we can schedule your case to a date certain to have your case tried before a judge. If you'd like a jury trial, then your case will have to be sent back to the division judge and placed on a jury trial calendar, and the date for a jury trial is uncertain at the present time. So I'm going to do a brief roll call to see who is present. And then for some of you, you may go into a breakout room, or we call that a virtual confidential breakout room, for you to discuss your case with the prosecutor. Today, the prosecutors will be Ms. Michelle McCutcheon, who is on the Zoom conference, as well as Ms. Denise Riley. All right. Now, some of you on your Zoom screen, I do not know what your names are. Like I have an individual by the name of Wes Love Atlanta. If you can change the name to your legal name as it appears on your citation, that would help. The other gentleman by the name of Gadget, you need to change that to your legal name as it appears on your citation. You will click on participant, and there's an option there to rename. Make sure you put in your correct name. All right. Do we have any private attorneys on this Zoom conference? Do we have any private attorneys on the Zoom conference? Okay. Mr. Alonzo Anderson, please unmute your screen. There is an option there where on your Zoom where it says unmute. It's got a little microphone picture. All right.
Okay.
Mr. Anderson, can you hear me?
Yes,
All right.
I can.
All right, Mr. Anderson, you have been cited for one count of battery from July 26, 2020. Have you applied for the public defender's office, or how would you like to proceed attorney-wise?
No, because the accident happened, me and the guy, it was like a misunderstanding there. Me and him, we got that straightened out already there.
Well, sir, I'm glad that worked out for you with the other guy. However, this is still an open, active case against you because you were cited.
Yeah, because he had a knife, and it was a self-defense. And
would
so what he
you
did,
like to speak to a public defender?
No, I don't know nothing about that. I never been in court before or anything there.
So let me repeat again, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply for the services of the public defender's office. And if you qualify, one of their attorneys will represent you. If you choose to represent yourself, then you are responsible for understanding how the law affects your case. This is an open, active criminal case against you. Warrants can be issued for your arrest. You will need to be summoned to court. You have a right to a trial. So if you think you need the assistance of counsel, I highly recommend that you go to the chat feature, fill out the application, and email that back to the public defender's office while you're waiting for your case to be addressed.
Okay, let me write that down what you're saying, Carl. I don't know anything about the law system.
Who was the lady who was helping you just now?
Oh yeah, that's my case manager here.
All right.
Let me get her, please. Jenny, come here 1 second, please. I think you have to write this down what you're saying there. Okay, here you go there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, ma'am, if you don't mind assisting Mr. Anderson on the chat feature of the Zoom. Are you familiar with the chat feature?
Yes.
All right. There is a message from the public defender's office, and it's got also a fillable updated application for Mr. Anderson to fill out to apply for the public defender's office. He needs to complete that application so that he can email that back to the public defender's office. The email information is also on the chat. Do you see
Okay. And
this?
then when does this, I do see it, and then when does this need to be,
Now,
oh, you have to do it, he has to do it now?
right now, and email it back as soon as it's done. Right, we're going to place you on mute, and then as soon as it's done, we'll come back to him.
Okay.
The host will please mute Alonzo Anderson. Frederick Sproul. Frederick Sproul. All right, that was a return to sender. I'll put that on the show cause calendar. Let me see. David David Scanoa.
Yeah, David Oscanon.
All right, sir. How do you pronounce your last name?
Oscanon.
Ah, yes. Okay. And this is a co-defendant case. Right. Mr. Oscanoa, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your case has been closed today. The state's decided not to proceed with the matter, so you're free to go.
I'm good.
Oh, yes. All right. Totally worthwhile coming in on the Zoom.
I just had a question. What date was this from?
The allegation. This was from a date. Here we go. This was from August 14, 2020. You and Andre Diaz were cited for misdemeanor possession of marijuana. You do have another case in state court, 20 CR 005544G.
Right.
You're represented by the public defender's office. Don't forget to address that case when you're summoned to court. But this one's over and done with.
It's closed. All right. Ooh, all right. Cool.
All right. Thank you. You're free to go.
All right. Bless. You have a good one. Everyone too.
You too. Thank you.
Can someone send the link again, please? There's no link there. It's only an email address.
All right. You see it now? Let's see now. Genesis Rogers. Please start your video.
We still don't see anything but the email.
All right. Ma'am, if you can put your email address in the chat feature. Yeah, we will have one sent to you. Genesis Rogers, what is the last three numbers of your case?
1 second.
Oh, I found it, petition 39. Okay. Okay, let's see now. We have Kelsey Albertson. Are you present?
Yes, I am.
All right, Ms. Albertson, please stay in one position with the device facing you. I don't want you walking around. Thank you. All right. Kelsey Albertson's present. Zabria Dawson. Zabria Dawson is not present. Quayana Marty, M-A-R-T-R, not present. And Lalonce Williams. All right, out of these 5 defendant cases, it appears that Ms. Albertson and Ms. Rogers are present. Ms. Rogers, both of you have been accused of disorderly conduct. That was the citation given to you. Ms. Riley, are you responsible for these cases?
Yes, Your Honor, and Ms. Rogers, as well as Dawson, Marty, and Williams are all being referred to diversion.
All right. Ms. Rogers and Ms. Albertson, if you can unmute your screen, please. All right, and both of you lower your devices so I can see your whole face instead of from nose up. Thank you. So with regards to both of you, you have been cited for disorderly conduct with regards to an incident at the compound. You have a right to an attorney if you'd like to apply for the services of the public defender's office. You may do so right now. Otherwise, you have opportunity to speak to Prosecutor Riley to see if they can offer you an alternative option to complete certain conditions for a favorable outcome of your case, meaning that if you comply with certain conditions, they may dismiss the charge against you. Is that something you'd like to consider?
Yeah.
All right. Would you like the services? Would you like to apply for the services of the public defender's office, or would you like to speak directly with Ms. Riley?
Miss Riley.
Ms. Albertson, Ms. Albertson said she will speak to Ms. Riley. What about you, Ms. Rogers?
Same thing.
All right. I will place you both in a breakout room very, very shortly. So please hold until you see the sign on your screen that says going to a breakout room. Okay. With regards to the others, if they don't show up by the end of the calendar, then we'll just simply put them on the show cause for a warrant for their arrest. Okay. Let me see who else. Wesley Love. Mr. Love, please unmute your screen if you can tell me the last four numbers of your case.
Let's see.
I found it, position 9. Okay. And is James Riley Jr. present as well? James Riley Jr. Ms. McCutcheon, these are the two cases that you have. Mr. Riley is not present, but Mr. Love is present.
Yes, Judge.
What's the state want to do?
The state does intend to file an amended accusation in these two cases and proceed.
All right. Mr. Love, the state intends to pursue prosecution with regards to this matter. And if you'd like to get the services of the Public Defender's Office, you may apply for them now. Otherwise, you have a right to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. What would you like to do?
I'm filling out the form right now.
All right, please mute your screen. And this will be position number 9. Mr. Love is applying. All right. Mr. Riley did not appear, so there'll be a show cause for a bench warrant. Latasha Jones. Latasha Jones is position 12. Ms. Jones is present, and Ms. Jones, you've been cited for simple battery and criminal trespass, and you have a right to an attorney. What would you like to do? Ms. Jones, Latasha Jones, please unmute. I can't hear you. All right, Miss.
You hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I'd like to
Okay.
proceed.
Would you like to apply for the services of the Public Defender's Office or proceed self-represented?
I'd like to proceed today.
Understood. Would you like the
Without
services?
a defender.
Okay. And Ms. McCutcheon, is this something that you can confer with Ms. Jones?
Yes, I can, Judge, but I believe Ms. Riley's in a breakout room now. When she returns, Your Honor, respectfully, if you could put me in a breakout room with Ms. Jones so that at least one of us remains on the calendar at all times.
Oh, has Ms. Riley already been put in a breakout room? Okay.
Yes.
Not yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, not yet. Oh, not yet. Okay, I apologize.
Not
No
yet. Yeah.
problem.
I normally wait till I've addressed
All right.
everyone. So
Thank you,
Ms.
Judge.
Ms. Jones will be in a breakout with Ms. McCutcheon.
Okay.
Ms. McCutcheon. All right, Cameron Battle. Ms. Jones, you may mute your screen for now. Cameron Battle.
Yes.
All right, what's the last four numbers of your case?
Repeat that one time.
The last four numbers of your case.
It is.
Not alphabetical, so I have to go by case. Cameron Battle.
It is 2-0 COV. Oh, last four. 0324.
27. All right, Mr. Cameron Malik Battle has been cited with battery and simple battery. An accusation has already been filed in this case. Mr. Battle, how would you like to proceed? You can apply for the Public Defender's Office to speak with the prosecutor. You can hire your own attorney or
Speak with the prosecutor. I'll speak with the prosecutor.
if I see there's you sent a chat message to have the public defender send you an application. So were you planning to speak to the public defense attorney or to the prosecutor?
Public prosecutor first.
I'm sorry, could that person who's speaking to you come around so at least they can join the conversation?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, if you could step back, you're blurred out.
Okay.
All right.
Kim Battle. Camera is
All right.
on.
Oh, and would you like your son to speak to a public defense attorney to see if he qualifies?
I guess so. Yes, because I'm not
All
really
right.
sure. Yes.
So this is position 27. This is Mr. Battle. And have you received the application? I know you sent in your Gmail.
Right. We'll check his email.
Okay, check your Gmail. Otherwise, the application link is on the chat feature.
Okay. Thank you.
Please mute your screen.
Okay.
Just 1 second, folks. I'm apparently having technical issues on my end, so if everybody can please wait, I'm going to log off and then log back on. All right, is that better? Is the audio better? Ms. McCutcheon, do you hear a lot of static from me right now?
I still do hear some static, Judge. Not as much as before, but just a little.
Understand me. Okay, moving on. Mr. Battle is applying. I have a Kiana Jordan who just joined the Zoom. I believe. All right, Miss Jordan, if you could please go and wear a jacket or something to be more appropriately dressed. This is open court. Thank you very much. All right, good. Now, if you'd like to be seated and address court, we would really appreciate it. Thank you. Ms. Jordan, Kiana Jordan Marty is position number 40. She is present. And Ms. Riley, is the pre-trial diversion available to her as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Jordan, you were cited for disorderly conduct with regards to an incident at the compound, and the prosecutor is willing to give you an alternative method to resolve your case. You have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything to say, the statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. You can apply for the services of the public defender's office while you are on the Zoom, and then wait until they approve before you speak to the prosecutor. Or you can speak to the prosecutor now to discuss this possible option. What would you like to do? Please unmute your screen.
I would like to find a prosecutor now, talk to a prosecutor now.
All right, please hold. I'll put you on the list to speak to Ms. Riley. So just 2 more people from that 5 defendant case. See if it shows up. Okay. Please mute your screen, Ms. Jordan, and we'll place you in a breakout room shortly.
Okay.
Glenn Hagan. Folks, please start your video so that I can see who I have to address. If you are a defendant, I need your video on, but muted. Glenn Hagan.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. And this is position 23. Are you Mr. Alan Hagan? Oh, that is a
No, that's spelled wrong, apparently.
All right, so it's Glenn Hagan. Mr. Hagan, you've got a citation
Yes, it
for
is.
disorderly conduct from August 10th, 2020. Ms. Riley, how are we proceeding with this case?
Your Honor, we are proceeding with this case. An amended accusation will be filed if it has not been so already.
All right. Mr. Hagan, the prosecutor wants to proceed with this case. Do you want to speak to a public defense attorney to see if you qualify? Or would you like to speak to the prosecutor today to see if you can resolve your case? What would you like to do?
So you're breaking up. So no, so hold on. I don't need a public defender. I'm going to have an attorney, and I'm pleading not guilty.
All right. Mr. Glenn Hagan, your case number is 20 COB 000320. You are cited for disorderly conduct, and the state will be filing an accusation to that effect on August 10th, 2020. If you're pleading not guilty, would you like me to read the citation, or would you like to waive a reading of it?
You're breaking up. I can't. All I'm getting is static.
Oh. Just 1 second. Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me all right?
I'm still not hearing you. Kevin?
Can you hear me
I'm
all
just
right?
hearing static. Okay, now I can.
Okay, now you can? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I believe so.
All right, so Mr. Glenn Hagan, first of all, the case has to be amended to correct the scrivener's error with regards to your name. As I've said, you are planning to plead not guilty, retain counsel, and you want a trial. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, with regards to this case, do you want a bench trial before a judge with a date certain to be scheduled? Or would you like a jury trial, at which time I will have to put it on a calendar, but I have no idea when it will be scheduled?
Let's go. If you,
Oh, you're
breaking up again, but I'll go with the bench trial.
Okay. Mr. Hagan, your case is upon your. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you keep coming in and out, but keep going.
No, I'm not going to keep going. Okay, folks, I'm going to try to correct my audio issue before I continue. Please pause. Do not leave the Zoom. If any of you want to apply for the Public Defender's Office, please look at the chat feature to fill out the application and email it back to the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, so you're coming through pretty good now. So if you want to keep going, go ahead.
All right, Ms. Gant, Ms. Riley, can you hear me all right without the static?
Yes, Your Honor.
Better? Okay. All right. So, Mr. Hagan, as I was trying to say to you, is that if you want a bench
Yes.
trial, I will give you a date certain. But presently, I just need to let you know that you are charged with a misdemeanor offense of disorderly conduct from August 10th, 2020. This is a misdemeanor offense, and the state plans to file an amended accusation. Ms. Riley, can we anticipate that being filed today?
Yes, Your Honor. I thought it had already been done, but yes, it will be done today.
It just doesn't show up on Odyssey, but I can read the citation that was issued against Mr. Hagan. That was, the citation was filed on August 10th, 2020 for an incident in which the citation issued by the City of Atlanta accuses Mr. Hagan of disorderly conduct in which he allegedly pushed the victim, resulting in an injury to the victim's arm. on or about 3535 Peachtree Road in Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County, Georgia. That is the allegation per the accusation. Mr. Hagan, you're presumed innocent until the case goes to trial, at which time the prosecutor has the complete burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If the state prevails, you could be looking, right now it is a citation, so you could be looking at a criminal sentence of up to 6 months in jail and or up to $1,000 fine. That penalty could be amended if the case is formally accused and brought under state law. You understand, sir?
Yes.
All right. Do we have a date for our bench trial? If you'd like to hold on the Zoom, I will give you a date shortly, as soon as we get one.
Okay.
And this will be reset for a bench trial. It's going to be on a Friday afternoon on April 22nd, at 1 p.m. 11:30. 11:30. Okay. On April
So let me ask
22nd at 11:30 a.m. Yes.
let me ask a question. If I want to do jury, I can do a jury too, right?
If you want to do a jury trial, you can submit that in writing, or you can tell me right now and we can further notice the case for trial for an indefinite time.
The jury trial. Can you hear me?
Yep, you are requesting a jury trial. So
Can you
this
hear me?
case, I can
Okay,
hear
let's
you.
do- Yeah.
Mr. Hagan, can you hear me?
Okay, sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Listen very carefully,
Yes, I
write it
can.
down, remember it. Your case has been formally arraigned. You don't have the luxury of time. You need to retain counsel so they can file all the necessary paperwork within the next 2 weeks. After that, meanwhile, the case is going to be sent to the division judge. Time is of the essence for you to retain counsel and make sure they file all the appropriate work. Let your attorney know your case has been accused and arraigned.
And it's a jury trial, correct?
Yeah, arraigned and further notice for jury trial. Yeah. And Mr. Hagan, may we have a good email address, please?
And then we're gonna know it's correct. That's the date. Sure. It's my name, GLENNHAGAN, all run together at Hotmail.
All right. As soon as you hire your attorney, make sure that he or she files an entry of appearance so that all notices will go to all interested parties.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other questions?
I don't believe so.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right, I have a Zabria's iPhone. I have no clue who that is, but it looks like it's in a bathroom of some sort. Unmute your screen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Ms. Zabria, if you please have a seat and place the phone device so we can see your full face.
Yes, ma'am. Doing that right now.
Zabria Dawson.
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Dawson, what's the last four numbers of your case? Okay, position 38. She is person number 4. Okay. The only person missing now is Lalance Williams. Okay. Ms. Dawson, Ms. Riley, do we have the same offer for pretrial diversion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Zabria Dawson, you are cited with disorderly conduct from the August 15, 2020 incident at a location called the Compound. This is an active criminal case against you. You have a right to apply for the Public Defender's Office to see if they can represent you. Otherwise, you have the option of representing yourself or hiring an attorney. The the prosecutor's office is giving you an option to have your case sent to pretrial diversion, which is an alternative path to prosecution. If you decide that you like to consider that path, I can put you in a breakout room with the prosecutor to consider these options. Would you like to consider that?
I don't know what is that? Like, what is the?
Well, Ms. Riley will explain that to you. It's an alternative path to prosecution. If you complete certain conditions, they may dismiss the case against you.
Okay.
Okay, what? Okay, yes, you'll talk to the prosecutor? Okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so position 38 is also going to be scheduled to speak to Ms. Riley. All right, please mute your screen, but do not leave the Zoom.
Okay.
All right, is there any other defendant whom I've not addressed or spoken? I have a Gadget. Mr. Gadget.
Go ahead.
What's your name, sir?
Kenton.
Who?
Kenton, Kenton.
What's the last four numbers of your case?
0317.
Your name is Kenton, that's your first name. Your last name is Hunter. So when I ask you for your name, you give me your full name. Understood? Mr. Hunter, do you understand?
Yeah, I comprehend.
Good. You are cited with one criminal offense or criminal trespass from July 7, 2020. How would you like to approach the case in terms of an attorney? What would you like to do?
I don't need no attorney.
Okay. Ms. McCutcheon's case, can I put you down to speak to Mr. Hunter? Ms. McCutcheon, we good? I'm sorry, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm looking at my notes for Mr.
Hunter, Kenton
Yeah,
Hunter.
Mr. Hunter. Yes, you can put me down for pretrial with him, Judge. The state may have an announcement, but I'll speak with him.
All right, thank you. All right, if there are no other defendants, will the host, Mr. Jordan, could you please place Ms. Riley and position 37, Mr. Albertson, Ms. Albertson? Kels, oh, that's going to be, yeah, Ms. Riley, I'm going to start you off with that 5 defendant case. I think it would be better if you do them one by one. Is that correct? Would that be better? Ms. Riley, is she there?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay, so I'm going to start you off with position 37.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, just respectfully, I know Ms. Riley has quite a few, I believe, persons who requested to speak with her. So
Yeah,
once I finish with Mr. Hunter, I can be placed into a breakout room with some of those other persons.
Actually, you're going in a breakout room with position 12, Latasha Jones.
Oh, before Mr. Hunter? Okay.
Yeah. All right, if we can place Ms. McCutcheon in a breakout room with Ms. Latasha Jones. Ms. Jones, you're going to get a message on your screen to join the breakout room.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Judge Law,
Yeah,
there is an update for position 9, Wesley Jones.
position 9, I have a Love. Wesley Love.
Wesley Love.
Well,
He,
what's the, yeah?
he does not qualify for the services of the public defender, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Love, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender's office. Would you like the chance to speak to the prosecutor to see if they can give you a resolution that
Yes,
may be
ma'am.
acceptable to you? All right. As soon as Ms. McCutcheon is free, you will be speaking to Ms. McCutcheon.
Thank you so much.
All right, so I have Mr. Cameron Battle and Mr. Anderson applying to the public defender's office. So we're going to find out what's the status of those cases.
We're still waiting for applications, Your Honor, for those two.
Oh,
Excuse me, does Alonzo Anderson still need to be on?
Yes, he does. We haven't
Okay.
received his application
Well, I sent it in for him.
to State Court PD or to whoever sent it to you.
Yes, correct.
Could you resend it, please? Okay, we got it. Thank you. Thank you. Please hold, Mr. Anderson. All right. Miss Asia Fogel just indicate that we have Mr. Anderson. So we're just waiting on Cameron Battle's application.
Almost finished.
Almost finished with my application.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I'm back with an announcement.
Yes, Ms. McCutcheon?
Yes, Judge. I just spoke with Ms. Jones. I think she was position 12, I believe, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, and she has indicated she wishes to plead not guilty. I do not know what further announcement she has for the court.
All right. Ms. Jones, is she back from the breakout?
I instructed her to leave the room and return to the main session.
All right. Hopefully she's back with us.
Does it show that she is still in the breakout room, Mr. Jordan?
No, she's here with us. All right. Ms. Latasha Jones, you've had a conversation with Ms. McCutcheon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You were cited with, an accusation's already been filed for simple battery and criminal trespass. How would you like to proceed?
I don't understand what's the difference between a bench trial or a jury.
If you have a bench trial, that would be a trial before the judge. Most likely will be me. It will be scheduled for April 22nd at 11:30 a.m. At that time, the prosecutor will be present with his or her witnesses, as well as their documents, and they will present evidence to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You will have the opportunity to be present with an attorney, or if you choose to waive your right to counsel, then you can choose to represent yourself. You will have an opportunity to cross-examine witnesses and challenge the state's case and present your defenses. At the conclusion of the case, when I've heard both opening and closing statements, I will then render a verdict of guilty or not guilty. That would be a bench trial. And that will be scheduled for April 22nd. A jury trial is where you would be present and you and the prosecutor will begin the trial by first selecting possible jurors from a panel. You or your attorney will be responsible for asking the appropriate questions so that the appropriate jury will be impaneled. And then after that, the process of the trial will be the same, except the verdict will be rendered by the jury and not by the judge.
Okay, I would prefer bench trial.
All right. If you'd like a bench trial, your case is going to be scheduled for April 22nd, 2022 at 11:30 a.m. Your case will be arraigned at the present time since the accusation has been filed. This is position number 12. Would you like me to read the accusations or do you waive a reading of the accusations?
Yes, you can read them.
All right. So Ms. Latasha Renee Jones is accused in case number 20 COB 000310 with the charges of simple battery and criminal trespass. An accusation was filed on February 21st, 2022. With regards to both charges, they are misdemeanors, and you're presumed innocent of these charges until the case goes to trial upon your entry of a not guilty plea. In the first accusation regarding simple battery, the prosecutor accuses the defendant and that in Fulton County, state of Georgia, on or about August 1st, 2020, the defendant did intentionally make physical contact of an insulting or provoking nature with the person of Roy Lee Floyd by striking the victim in violation of Georgia law 16-5-23. That's the first accusation. The second accusation is one in which the Fulton County Solicitor General's office thus accused the defendant of criminal trespass, a misdemeanor in Fulton County, Georgia, on or about August 1st, 2020. The accused did intentionally damage the property of Roy Floyd without his or her consent, and the damage thereto was $500 or less. In that
I don't understand this. I don't understand that. How could the police say that something that I did when I'm the one got a gash in my head from this man?
Miss Jones.
I don't understand.
Miss
The
Jones.
evidence, I mean, everything was clear right there on the scene.
As
I don't
was
understand.
saying,
I am the victim. I am the victim.
Please mute the screen while I complete. So those are the accusations that have been filed against you. You are presumed innocent of these charges, and upon your entry of a not guilty plea, the case will be scheduled for trial. At the time of the trial, the state has the complete burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If the state prevails, you could be convicted and face a penalty of up to 1 year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine for each convicted offense. We may, Ms. Jones, please unmute your screen now.
Y'all got some crooked cops.
Given this information, how do you plead? How do you plead, Ms. Jones?
Not guilty. Y'all got some crooked cops in Atlanta.
Given your not guilty plea, the case is going to be scheduled for bench trial on April 22nd, 2022 at 11:30 a.m. Please be sure to, if you choose to hire your own attorney, please be sure that your attorney files all the necessary paperwork within 10 days of the case being arraigned, which is today. If you choose to represent yourself, please understand that, is she gone? I guess she's gone. Oh.
I'm here.
Okay. If you choose to represent yourself, please understand that you would have to be aware of how the law applies to the facts of your case, and that you are responsible for understanding the criminal procedures with regard to conducting a bench trial. Do you have any questions?
Same thing. I'm the one that was working 12 hours a night. I'm the one that was a crackhead lived next door to me that was keeping me up. He came at me. The blood was in the hallway from me.
Ms. Jones, number one, you are not under oath. And number two, please be sure to. All right, thank you. We'll see you on April 22nd. All right, we have a case management order for Ms. Jones as well. All right. All right, Ms. McCutcheon, you are going to be in a virtual breakout room with Mr. Hunter, position 20.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Hunter, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be in a breakout room. Please, you'll see the message on your screen. And Miss Riley, is she back? Yes, Miss Riley, any announcements on position 37?
Yes, I've received Ms. Albertson's email address and explained the diversion program to her, and that is what she would like to do.
All right, Ms. Albertson. Please unmute your screen and lower your device, please. All right. So Ms. Albertson, your case, you need to submit all the paperwork back to the public, to the prosecutor to make sure that you are admitted to the pretrial diversion program. And once you complete all the obligations, the case will most likely be dismissed. your case is going to be further noticed for the prosecutor to let us know whether the case has been resolved in your favor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if it's resolved, they will dismiss the case. Miss Riley, we're going to place this case on what I've presently just called a pretrial diversion docket.
Okay.
And we're going to do a running tally of all the cases that are on a pretrial diversion docket. And eventually down the road, the court is going to inquire of the prosecutor of the status of those cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So this is going to be further notice pending a decision from the prosecutor's office. Ms. Albertson, may we have your email, please?
Yeah,
Nikki,
it's
yeah.
Kelsey Albertson at yahoo.com.
All right. Is it exactly how it's spelled in your on your screen? Kelsie. Albertson, one word. Everything's one word.
Yes, ma'am.
At yahoo.com. All right. If you change your mailing address, please be sure that the court knows that first. All right. We certainly don't want you to not respond to court and risk getting a bench warrant.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Ms. Riley, your next defendant is Ms. Dawson.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Sabria Dawson. Where's she doing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're going to be in a breakout room with Ms. Denise Riley, the prosecutor.
Okay.
Please make sure that you join the message.
Okay. Do I do it now? It says join.
Yep. Do it now.
Okay.
Okay.
And Ms. Gant, have you received the application?
Yes, Your Honor, I received both. And for position 1, Alonzo Anderson, he qualifies.
All right.
And position 27, Cameron Battle, also qualifies.
So as soon as Ms. Riley is available, she will speak with you with regards to Mr. Anderson. So Mr. Anderson, you're going to be represented by, and Mr. Battle, where is he? You both are going to be represented by the Public Defender's Office. Do not leave the Zoom. Public Defense Attorney, Ms. Gant, is going to speak to the prosecutor to see what resolution they can reach. And then after that, we will give you the update on your case. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you cannot leave the Zoom. And Ms. Gant, you will be in line to speak to Ms. Riley when she's available for Mr. Anderson. And you'll be in line to speak for Mr. Battle with Ms. McCutcheon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think it might be the other way around. I'm sorry. This is the case management order for Mr. Hagan. This is she should be in the breakout, right? She's in a breakout with Mr. Hunter. Huh? Oh, Ms. McCutcheon is back. Okay, Ms. McCutcheon, anything to announce on Mr. Hunter?
Your Honor, I'm not quite certain what Ms. Hunter wants to do. The state did make a recommendation if he were to plead guilty, that would be 12 months probation with the only condition, it can be non-reporting, but the only condition being that he stay away from that location, which is a Shell gas station, and not have any contact with any of the employees or patrons at that location. Or alternatively, he can pay a fine in the amount of I think I said $75 and close the case out today. Mr. Hunter was not clear to the state as to which of those, if either, he wanted to accept.
All right, and what's the address of the Shell gas station?
Just a minute, Your Honor. Let me pull up the report again. It is the Shell station, Your Honor, that is located at 1720 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Southwest Atlanta.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, Mr. Hunter, as you chose to represent yourself, are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. The options you have are, if you decide to plead guilty to this charge of criminal trespass, you can pay a $75 fine and the case will be closed. The other option is that you can plead guilty. You will be placed on 12 months non-reporting probation. In other words, you don't have to report to probation. You don't have to pay probation fees, but you have to stay away from the Shell gas station at 1720 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive for the next 12 months. The third option is to ask for a trial. What would you like to do?
We can do the probation because I'm not paying anything.
All right. Do you have the ability to receive the paperwork to fill out for a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What's your email address?
khunter 3g@yahoo.com.
K as in Kenton, Hunter, one word with 3G at yahoo.com.
Yep.
All right. You're going to receive an email from Prosecutor McCutcheon with the plea paperwork, which is the documents you will have to read to understand what rights you'll be waiving in exchange for a guilty plea and 12 months non-reporting probation and a stay away from the location. Once you have filled out the paperwork, you need to send it back to Ms. McCutcheon so that we can have a plea hearing and that will close the case out. Do you understand, sir?
Yep.
All right, please mute your screen. And as soon as you get the paperwork, please start filling it out. Okay, we're going to do a plea on position 20. And Ms. McCutcheon, whenever you're ready, Ms. Gant has position number 1, Mr. Anderson, to speak with you.
Your Honor, I can go into the breakout room with Ms. Gant first. That should not take that long, and then I'll prepare the plea paperwork for Mr. Hunter if the court's satisfied with that. Thank you.
That's fine. Mr. Jordan, please place Ms. McCutcheon and Ms. Wanda Gant for position number 1, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, please hold until Ms. Gant gets back and speaks with you.
And Your Honor, I have returned from the breakout room with Ms. Dawson, and she is also accepting the pretrial diversion program.
All right. Ms. Dawson, what's your email, please? Can't hear you, you're on mute.
Ma'am,
What's your
can you hear
email?
me?
Yes.
Bria Dawson at Gmail. So just take the ZA out of my name.
BREAH, Bria Dawson, one word, at
gmail.com.
All right. So Ms. Dawson, you will receive the paperwork to complete and be entered into the pretrial diversion program. If you complete it satisfactorily, the prosecutor's office will get a favorable outcome for the case and give me a report on the outcome. Your case will be placed on the pretrial diversion docket, and this is going to be further notice pending a response from the prosecutor's office.
Okay.
It will be a great benefit to you to try to complete all the conditions satisfactorily so that the case will be closed and it won't appear as a conviction on your record. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this case is going to be further notice for pretrial diversion. And we have your email. So anything else, Ms. Riley, that you need from Ms. Dawson?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Dawson. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Riley, I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Ms. Rogers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Genesis Rogers, position 39.
I'm here.
All right, Ms. Rogers, please start your video and click on the message that says join breakout room. All right, while I'm waiting on any of our prosecutors and attorneys to come back, we have a new entry on our Zoom, a Miss Nikki, last initial C. If you can unmute and start your video, I'll be able to address you. This is Judge Law.
Yes.
All right, hello, sir.
My name is Quason Parker.
What is the last four numbers of your case? I found it, position 33. Mr. Parker, you have two cases, positions 32 and 33, in which you're both cited for theft by taking from an August 14, 2020 incident. Oh, it's a duplicate? Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. This was a duplicate entry. You are cited for one case, theft by taking from August 14, 2020. Mr. Parker, you have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything you say about the facts, the statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. Would you like to apply for the services of the Public Defender's Office?
Yeah.
And what's your email?
QUAY9525@icloud.com.
All right. Do you see the chat feature on your Zoom?
Chat feature.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see any messages there?
It says, "What is your name?"
No, that's good. All right. Miss Aja Fogel, I think you might have to send him the application to his email if you have it.
I'm sorry, Judge Law. Who am I sending it to?
His name is Quason Parker, position 32. His email is QUAY9525@icloud.com.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sending it now.
All right. Mr. Parker, the email is being sent to you. You would need to fill out that application and send it back before the Public Defender's Office can consider representing you.
Yeah.
Please mute your screen and review your email.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I haven't received it.
Your email is QUAY9525@icloud.com.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right, I just sent it. Please give it a second.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, it's still not coming up, Your Honor. I went in my spam and everything.
All right. Go ahead and send an email to this address, State Court PD.
One
Write
second.
it down somewhere. Ms. Fogel, go ahead and repost
State
the
Court,
State Court PD.
or PD.
PD, Public Defense
Yeah.
at fultoncountyga.gov. Yep, it's in the chat feature. If you look at it, it's got the email. Send
Oh, I
it.
could send it in a chat feature.
No. Send an email to the address I just gave you. All right, Ms. Riley, what's the announcement for Ms. Rogers? I'm sorry, Ms. Rogers.
Sorry, I was on mute. Same announcement, Your Honor. She will be going to the pretrial diversion program.
You have her email address? May we have?
Yes, Shardia, S as in Sam, HARDIA, Rogers @gmail.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Rogers, you there?
Ma'am.
All right, Ms. Rogers, you are free to go as soon as you complete the pretrial diversion program. The Solicitor General's office will dismiss your case. Please make sure that you keep up with the program so you do not get a conviction on your record.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. This case is reset, further notice pending the pretrial diversion outcome. Quayana Marty. Quayana Marty. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Marty, you are going to go into a breakout room with Ms. Riley.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jordan, Quayana Jordan, and Denise Riley will go into a breakout room.
How do I get to that?
You'll
Or
see
you
a
say-
message on your screen that says join breakout room.
Oh, okay.
Ms. McCutcheon and Ms. Gant, is she back from the breakout?
She should be coming on short. There she is,
There
Judge.
she is. Okay. Ms. McCutcheon, Ms. Gant, would you have an announcement, or either anyone has an announcement?
We have not come to a resolution. I would like to discuss with my clients both. And I can call them each.
Oh, okay. If you want to call them, that's fine. Otherwise, I could put you in a breakout room one at a time. Which one would you prefer?
I think it might be easier for me to call because of the
Okay.
technology issues.
Okay, go right ahead.
So I
Thank
will be back. Thank you.
Mr. Anderson, I'm assuming you spoke about both cases, right, Ms. Gant?
We did, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Anderson and Mr. Battle, Public Defense Attorney, Ms. Gant is going to be calling you on your phone to discuss your case with her. Okay?
All right.
All right. Ms. Riley, any before I do that, Ms. McCutcheon, I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Mr. Love.
Okay, Your Honor, I still have not sent the paperwork to Mr. Hunter, so he's still holding for that because I was pre-trying with Ms. Gant. Okay.
Okay, go ahead and send the paperwork, and then I'll put you in a breakout with
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Love, position 9. Okay, and Ms. Riley, you have an announcement for Ms. Marty?
Yes, Your Honor, she will also be doing the pretrial diversion program.
All right. And you have her email address?
Yes, it is YAN as in Nancy, A, her last name Marty 25@outlook.com.
All right, Ms. Marty? All right, so basically what we're gonna do is reset this case pending pretrial diversion completion. And if it's completed satisfactorily, you will get a favorable outcome in your particular case. Do you understand?
Okay.
All
Yes,
right. Please make sure that you let us know of any changes in your address, and good luck. Thank you. You're free to go. All right, this case is, we just have the last person, Mr. Riley Lalonde Williams, who has not appeared.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Well, Your Honor, I believe it will still be referred to diversion. And so if we're not able to
Show cause it for March 18th. Hopefully she'll appear and get that opportunity. Okay, position 42, by the way, Mr. Myers has been transferred to the Superior Court as a felony case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Moving on, we have Ms. Gant who's speaking to Mr. Battle. So she's discussed that with Ms. McCutcheon. And I guess Mr. Love, okay. And Mr. Hunter, as soon as you receive the paperwork, you can start filling that out. We're just trying to send the plea paperwork to Mr. Hunter so he can start filling that out. Okay, good. Are there any new defendants who just come on this Zoom? That's it for now, Ms. Riley. I think you've interviewed everyone. The only other person remaining is Mr. Love, who I believe is already in a breakout, and we just have to take the plea for Mr. Hunter and find out what's going on with Battle and Anderson. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
We'll be in recess till then.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Parker, any progress?
Yeah,
Have you sent the application?
I sent it through in Canon. Cause it's not coming through to my email.
You sent it through N Canon. Don't know what that means.
Like the email, so you can send it to that email.
What's the email address? Can you give us the whole email in the chat?
That's what I'm on.
Yeah, it's sent to Nicole Cannon.
Yes.
All right,
I just sent that.
check the email.
Yes, I received it.
All right, go ahead and fill it out and send it back so they can decide whether they can represent you.
All right, thank you.
Quickly. Thank you.
Yes.
Judge Law.
Yes, Ms. Gant?
Yes, Judge Law. With regard to position 1, Alonzo Anderson.
Anderson, yeah.
Yes, I will submit a waiver, Your Honor, and he would like to proceed with a jury trial.
So you will file a waiver of arraignment
Yes, Your Honor.
and further notice for jury trial. Okay, the accusation has already been filed in this case, so I'm not going to ask him anything at this point. So you'll take it from this point onwards, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this will go back to the division judge, and this is represented by the PD's office. All right, Mr. Anderson, is he still there?
I have released
Okay,
him.
no problem. Okay, moving on to Mr. Battle, position number 27.
Yes, Your Honor. I will also submit a waiver for him as well. And he prays for jury trial.
This case will be further notice to the division judge for a jury trial. All right, that concludes those 2 cases. Mr. Battle's also been released. Thank you. Ms. Riley, you were in, I think she was completed with the calendar. So Ms. McCutcheon, have you had a chance to send the paperwork to Mr. Hunter?
I'm still working on it, Your Honor.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Love, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I got disconnected on the internet there, so it pulled me out of that meeting room that I was going to have with Ms. McCutcheon.
Okay, she'll be with you shortly, okay?
Yeah, I just need another
Trial conference, I can meet with Mr. Love while Ms. McCutcheon is doing the paperwork.
All right, we'll put you in a breakout room with Ms. Denise Riley. She's also a prosecutor from the
Thank
same
you.
office. Mr. Jordan, if we can place Ms. Riley in a breakout room with Mr. Love. Good. Okay. Ms. Wanda Gant, have you received the application from Mr. Quason Parker, who's also may have sent it from an email, Nicole Cannon?
Checking, Your Honor. I have not.
Okay. Mr. Parker, have you sent back the completed application?
No, I haven't, Your Honor. I was trying to see how was I supposed to fill it out because you sent it to him on the phone.
All right, Ms. Gant, I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Mr. Parker. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Jordan, if you could place Ms. Wanda Gant in a breakout room with Mr. Parker. And Mr. Parker, you'll see a message on your screen. Okay. Yes, Mr. Brown.
Is anyone here?
Yes, do you have a question, Mr. Hunter? Did you get the email that I sent to
Yeah.
you?
Yes, as I'm looking at this email, it says charge where at the bottom where I'm reading, it says charges and negotiated plea sentence, simple battery dash
Oh,
FB.
you know what? Let me see. You know what, then when I cut and pasted, I should have disregard that. I'll send you another one. When I cut and pasted, I should have removed that. I'm going to send you another form as well. This is yeah, I'm going to send you two more forms. One is a waiver of counsel and one is a plea verdict form. So I'm going to send those to you right now.
Ms. Gant, any announcements on Mr. Parker?
Yes, Your Honor. He qualifies for our services, and I would like to speak to the prosecutor, please.
All right. Ms. Riley, are you available, please? She may have been released already. Ms. McCutcheon still working on paperwork?
Yes, Judge. Mhm.
Being recorded.
All right, Ms. Riley, you were in conference with Mr. Love?
Yes, Your Honor. And, sorry, my video.
Go ahead.
I believe he is entering a not guilty plea.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Wesley Bates Love, you are accused of a disorderly conduct Atlanta ordinance, along with a James Riley Jr. who's not present. With regards to Mr. James Riley Jr., I'm going to reset that to a show cause calendar for March 18th. Is that the state's announcement for that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
With regards to Mr. Wesley Love, he wants to plead not guilty. And this case has not been, are you all proceeding on the citation, Ms. Love, Ms. Riley?
Your Honor, I believe this will have to be accused. So we would file an amended accusation, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Love, do you plan to seek a jury trial with regards to this case, or would you like a bench trial?
I believe a bench trial would be fine.
All right. The case is going to be reset to April 22nd at 11:30 a.m. for a bench trial. At which
April
time?
22nd.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
At which time you have the right to hire your own attorney to appear and represent you during the course of the trial. Do you need me to explain the procedures, or have you heard it?
What was the time again, ma'am? I'm sorry.
April 22nd at 11:30 a.m.
11:30 a.m. Okay. No, yeah, I understand it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help today.
Okay, and you would need to either hire an attorney, make sure the attorney is present to represent you, or you can choose to represent yourself. If you represent yourself, please remember that you have a right to subpoena witnesses and documents. You have to do so in a timely fashion. I'll be issuing a case management order to give you the timeframes in which to file motions and so forth and so on. Okay?
Okay. Can I update my contact information or something? I don't know how you would get a hold of me.
The best way to do it is to come. Are you in Atlanta?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You. If you put it in the chat feature to litigation, you say strong. You'll see the name Strong and then in parentheses Orca. You can send your address, your phone number, and your email address. We'll make sure it's updated in the system.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much.
All right. I'm going to arraign your case, which basically means you're going to enter a plea of not guilty to the citation.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're going to file an amended accusation today. Do you want me to read the citation or do you waive a reading of it?
I waive a reading of it.
All right. Mr. Wesley Bates Love, you are accused of disorderly conduct, a Atlanta ordinance in case number 20 COB 000307. Your case is going to be scheduled for a bench trial on April 22nd at 11:30 a.m., at which time you have a right to be self-represented, or you can choose to retain counsel as you do not qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office. This will be a trial on the one citation of disorderly conduct. And upon your entry of the not guilty plea, the case will be scheduled for that trial. And at the time of the trial, the prosecution has the complete burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt and overcome your legal presumption of innocence. If the state prevails, you could be sentenced to up to 6 months in custody or up to $1,000 fine. And at the present time, it's still a citation, Atlanta ordinance. That's why it's a 6-month limitation in prison.
I understand.
All right. Given this information, how do you plead?
I'm not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Love. We will see you on April 22nd. Do you have any other questions?
I do not. Thank you so much.
All right. You're free to go. Thank you.
I have another question.
Ms. McCutcheon?
Yes, Your Honor. Is that Mr. Hunter?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Hunter.
Well, I had a question for the courts, or rather, you know what I'm saying?
What's the question?
Yeah, well, the thing is that, you know, I honestly don't know how I was being charged a criminal trespass for someone stealing my weapon. And in order for me to present information proving that the weapon was mine, they did tell me to leave, but I had to come back to bring them information regarding that weapon that was stolen from me. And I still was charged a criminal trespass. That it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, if you're aware of the law of criminal trespass, then it will make complete sense to you.
No, it doesn't make any sense for
Mr. Hunter, I'm only going to say this one more time. If you are aware of the elements of the statute governing criminal trespass, then it would make sense to you.
And I'm going to say it again to you. It does not make any sense.
I cannot give you legal advice.
That doesn't make any, but do you comprehend what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense.
If you have a defense to the case, then that's entirely up to you to decide to have a trial. Right now, the state is offering you 12 months non-reporting probation or a $75 fine. What would you like to do?
How would you all get that $75 if I choose to have paid that?
You would complete the paperwork and then you will come down to the courthouse and pay the fine.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not coming anywhere. It's fine where we are.
You still will have to report to probation your first visit at 132 Mitchell Street. After that, your probation
report. Report? No,
yeah,
we're not.
Your first visit.
We're not doing no report neither. You just said I don't have to.
Mr.
Report.
Hunter, If you are placed on probation, your first visit has to be a report in order to create the file with probation. After that, you will not be reporting for the rest of the 12 months. That's what non-reporting probation means. You are not in a position to dictate the terms of the probation. I am telling you right now, that's the way the process flows. What would you like to do? Well, let us know once you've come up with a thought, and please mute your screen until you make a decision. Meanwhile, we're still waiting on Ms. McCutcheon. I believe Ms. Riley is in conference about Mr. Parker. So have you concluded?
I'm sorry, I have not conference with Mr.
Oh,
Parker.
okay. Well, Ms. Gant I wasn't sure who she was speaking to. I thought she was in conference.
Yes, I completed my interview just for PD services, but I'm awaiting a meeting with prosecutor for Mr. Parker.
For Mr. Parker, all right. Ms. McCutcheon, would you like to speak to Ms. Gant about position 32, Quason Parker? I'm sorry, you're on mute, Ms. McCutcheon.
I can speak with Ms. Gann about Mr. Parker because position 32 would be my half of the calendar, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Gant and Ms. Riley will go into a breakout room for position 32.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Hunter, what is your decision?
What is my what?
What is your decision?
My decision on what?
Mr. Parker, you've been instructed to fill out the paperwork after you indicated you wanted to be on probation for this charge. The paperwork is required to be filled out in order to take the plea. That's so right presently, based on your last conversation, you were uncertain as to whether to take the fine or to take probation. What is your decision?
I have no idea. I guess we'll go with probation because I'm not paying you anything.
All right. You need to fill out the paperwork that was sent to you by Ms. McCutcheon and send it back to Ms. McCutcheon.
Okay, so I'm trying to print that out, but okay, print it out and then what? I have to scan it, right?
Where are you located? If this is a problem, I'm going to instruct you to come down to the courthouse within the hour. And if you fail to appear, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
I'm asking a simple question.
Mr. Hunter, I am not a IT person. If you're having problems with printing and so forth, that is your responsibility. But at the present time, I need you to complete the paperwork that was sent to you by Ms. McCutcheon and then email it back to her. What do you need to do?
Do I have the floor to speak?
What do you need to do to fill out the paperwork?
That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm telling you or asking you. You're saying I need to do the paperwork and I'm telling you, okay.
What's the problem?
So that's, if you would listen, how can I speak and you're speaking over me?
What's the problem?
I'm saying, so do I need to email it back or do I need to scan it or how will you, the process go? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Once I download the information and fill out the paperwork, how do you all get the paperwork back? Do I have to scan it? Do I have to email it? Do I have to screenshot it? Do I have to?
Your Honor, respectfully, when I spoke with Mr. Hunter in the breakout room, I inquired of Mr. Hunter whether or not he had the capability to receive information via email, print it out, scan it, complete it, and then scan it and send it back to me. He informed the state that he had that capability. In the email that I sent to him, I also asked him to complete the paperwork and then to email it back to me.
That's what I'm asking. Email or scan? Which one? Oh my God, which one are you? The information I have right now, I'm looking at it and I can download this information and fill information out. But what I'm saying is you're saying email or scan, which one?
Both, Mr. Hunter, on behalf of
Hang
the
on.
state.
Listen very carefully, Mr. Hunter. Start your video.
Oh,
What is the easiest way for you to send a completed application back to the prosecutor?
well, I'm gonna have to download it, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't. 1 second.
Remarkable.
Is that a scanner? Is that a scanner?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, it's not. I don't think so.
Okay. Hold on. Let me check downstairs.
Mr. Hunter, you have 10 minutes to send back the completed application to Ms. McCutcheon. How you do it is completely up to you. We'll be in recess until we receive the completed application. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Gant, what's the announcement for Mr. Parker, position 32?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Parker, we have reached a resolution with the state, and Mr. Parker would like to proceed with the state's referral to pretrial diversion.
All right. Ms. Riley, will you be able to email the paperwork to Ms. Gant so she can go over that with her client?
Well, Your Honor, I refer it to the coordinator of the program, and she will get the paperwork directly to Mr. Parker.
All right. So, Mr. Parker, your case will be considered for pretrial diversion. Your attorney is Ms. Wanda Gant. If you're approved, you would enter the pretrial diversion to complete certain conditions. And once completed, the case will be dismissed or resolved in your favor. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So please make sure you keep up with the public defender's office with regards to this case.
Yes.
Your Honor, if I might add, just for Ms. Gant's information, we'll make certain that our diversion coordinator copies you, Ms. Gant, on the correspondence to Mr. Parker.
Thank you.
And you have both of Mr. Parker's emails?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, great.
I have one email address and his physical mailing address.
No, but could you take down my P.O. box? Because my mail comes to my P.O. box.
There is a P.O. box listed in the system.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
It's being sent to Albany, New York, right?
Yes, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
Okay. All right. Is there any other contact information you need from Mr. Parker?
No, Your Honor.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. Mr. Parker, thank you for being so patient, and good luck with the pretrial diversion. Hopefully it works out.
Thank you.
All right. You are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hunter, any progress for sending the paperwork? All right, so he's still trying to figure out the printer. All right. While we're waiting for Mr. Hunter, let's go down the calendar. Position 1, Anderson, is a waiver of arraignment is going to be filed, and the case is going to be further noticed for a jury trial. Case management order will be entered today. Position 2, Sproul, is a no-show. Ms. Riley, is the first half your cases or Ms. McCutcheon's?
Ms. McCutcheon has the first half. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. McCutcheon, let me know if you all are still pursuing these matters. Sproul was a return sender. We don't have a good address. What do you want to do?
Judge, I'll look at that because my notes show that we were going to refer that to diversion, but since it came back, Judge, I'll look at it. Can the court put it on the failure to appear show cause hearing, and then we'll have a decision by then?
All right, reset to March 18th. Show cause why should not be dismissed. Keisha Bell is a no-show.
Same announcement for that, Your Honor. That was going to be a referral to diversion. But of course, if the information was returned, then that means the information that the state had also was no good. So if we can put that on the status calendar as well.
Position 4, Hunter, is a no-show, and we don't have a good address, none at all. There's absolutely no good address on this one.
Okay, Judge, that's based on the nature of that charge, Judge. I'd like to look further into that. I know we had planned on filing an accusation in that. If we can put that on the status calendar, Your Honor, I'm concerned about the nature of those charges. The state does not want to move the court to null pros that today.
Where do we send notice? We don't have a good address at all.
You know, Judge, and I'll just be candid with the court. I am unfamiliar with seeing this in other jurisdictions where there's just no address for the nature of a charge like this or some of our other charges. And because this is a citation, Judge, that's a good question. But if the court would put it on the status and I'll look into it, I'm reluctant for the state to try to locate the defendant because that doesn't mean that that's actually the address. And then we ask for bench warrant for an address that the defendant did not provide. So I'll look at the citation at the incident report, Your Honor. And
I'm going to reset it to March 18th, show cause for dismissal.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll send it one more notice, but it's going to go into oblivion. All right, Elder is, position 5 is a no-show.
We'd ask that that be put on a show cause calendar, Your Honor.
March 18.
Yes.
Javian Mitchell. Position 6.
Also, Judge, based on the nature of that charge, we'd ask that that be placed on a show cause calendar.
Zachary Hoffman.
Also on a show cause calendar, Your Honor.
LaFrance Huey.
Also on a show cause calendar, Your Honor.
Okay, position 9 is reset for a bench trial, April 22nd. Position 10 is reset for a show cause, March 18th. He is the co-defendant or cross-defendant with regards to position 9. Position 11, Claude Brown is in jail, reset to the March 3rd SAP calendar. Latasha Jones is requested a bench trial on April 22nd. All right, positions 13 and 14 are both no-shows. Are those Ms. Riley's cases?
No, those are mine, Your Honor.
Okay.
We'd ask that that be those be placed on show cause calendar.
15, 16, and 17, one defendant, Bryce Rowe.
Also on a show cause calendar, Your Honor. And 17 is a duplicate to 16, Your Honor.
Oh, is it? Yep, you're right. Okay, 17's out as a duplicate. Thank you. 18, this is Mr. Duncan. He does not have an address and we had a return mail.
Judge, if I can inquire, when the court says return mail, was there an address to which notice was sent?
I just had, let me see.
Yes, it was in 717 North. I don't know what.
Judge, if there was a notice and the clerk sent notice to that particular address that was provided then, and the defendant did not appear, then we'd ask that it be placed on a show cause calendar, and then if the defendant doesn't appear.
Some of these addresses are nonsensical, like the other one we had was 000 Urban Camper Road. I have no idea what that is.
Excuse me, Judge. This particular case that you are inquiring about, it has a different address on the citation and the system. So if you want me to update the system with what's on the citation, I would do that. I'm not sure.
Let's do that. Let's try him one more time. March 18. Position 19, Marcus Boyd.
Your Honor, I'm going to present a null pros for Mr. Boyd.
Okay. Position 19 is null pros. All right, Mr. Hunter, any progress on the paperwork? Hinton Hunter. Hinton Hunter, you're on mute. May we get a status? Mr. Hunter. I don't know who's talking. All right, hold on 20. Oliver Lester, position 21, is a no-show. We had a Lindsay Street address. Didn't work out. '21, Ms. McCutcheon.
Oh, Your Honor, and again, was the notice sent to a verifiable address that was not nonsensical, Your Honor?
Yeah, it was a verifiable address, Lindsay Street, but there's been a return.
We'd ask to be placed on a show cause calendar, Your Honor.
All right, March 18. Mr. Hunter, any progress with your paperwork?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. How's the paperwork going?
So we just.
Yeah, so you decided to.
I'm gonna just pay this 75. I ain't got no time to deal with it.
All right, you still need to send in the paperwork because you're pleading guilty to a charge, and would you need to fill out the paperwork, Ms. McCutcheon? Otherwise, I can just issue a decision.
Yes, Judge, she would still need to fill out the paperwork that he's pleading guilty.
All right.
Which
All right, I need the paperwork, okay?
Which paperwork that says?
You're just going to scratch out the part about probation and just put down $75 fine.
And Your Honor, just for the record, I sent the defendant the 3-page plea waiver of rights, waiver to a jury trial. I also sent him the waiver of counsel form, and I sent him the verdict form. So there should be a total of 5 pages. The 3-page plea paperwork form.
I have 5.
Okay.
5 pages, yes.
Fill those out and scan, email them back to Ms. McCutcheon ASAP. Thank you. All
All
right,
5?
position, all 5. Position 22,
Judge,
Shasta Moon.
respectfully, Your Honor, if we can go back to position 21, Lester Oliver, I'm going to move the court to null pros that. I'll present a null pros order for that.
All right, position 21 is null pros. 22, Shasta Moon.
Your Honor, do we have a address on file? We were referring this to the diversion program.
We have an address on file. She just didn't show.
Okay, Your Honor, so if we could move that to the show cause calendar, please.
All right. 23 is requesting a jury trial. 24 is a no-show, McDaniel. That was a return sender from a address on file.
Okay, and it was a valid address? Or
Oh, that I couldn't tell you. That I can tell you. Some of the addresses, when you read them, you can tell it's nonsensical.
Yes.
But this one I couldn't tell.
Okay, I would ask for that to be placed on the show cause calendar.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming when you put them on a show cause calendar, you might be accusing some of these cases unless you'll decide to null pros in between.
Well, and with some of them, Your Honor, on citation, like the criminal trespass, we can proceed on just citation.
Okay. Position 25 is Demario Long. It's a no-show. Accusation was filed a few days ago. What would you like to do?
Proceed to a show cause calendar.
All right. And position 26, Ashlyn Williams is a co-defendant to Demario Long, but that's a juvenile case. Well, I need to transfer it back to juvenile court unless the state wants to consider other options.
Your Honor, go ahead, Deputy McCutcheon.
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Is the accused, if the accused is a juvenile, then Your Honor, respectfully, the state court and the Solicitor General's office neither have jurisdiction, that we would need to present an order to the court to transfer it to Superior Court, and then the DA's office will deal with it at juvenile court. So we need to prepare that order. Ms. Riley, do you have it? If not, I can work on that order.
I do not.
Why does it need to go? Why can't I just directly transfer it to juvenile court?
Well, Your Honor, I guess you could do that. I just only said that because I know in the DA's office, the DA handles, but you're right. I guess it could go straight to juvenile court.
Yeah, this is not one of those SB 440
Serious violent felonies.
Yeah, okay.
And what position is that, Judge? And I'll prepare the order.
26, being
All right, thank you.
transferred to juvenile court. Okay.
Thank you.
27 is a demand for a jury trial through the PD's office. They will be filing a waiver of arraignment. 28 is no-show, Vincent Lyman.
Your Honor, we would proceed with the show cause calendar.
Okay, March 18. 29, Coley Davis is a no-show.
Also the show cause calendar, Your Honor.
30 and 31 were null pros. 32, Mr. Parker is going to pretrial diversion. 33 is dismissed as a duplicate. 34, 34, Mr. Jared Pullett is a no-show and an accusation has been submitted. Coincidentally, there is a co-defendant, Alvin Sloan, case number 20 COV 000102. Incident happened stemming from the same date, same incident. And that was null pros back on May of 2021. So I will reset that to March 18, but if you could look into that, Ms. Riley, it was null pros by, is it Miss Nancy Mao? Is that right?
Your Honor, I'm not sure of the co-defendant, but Mr. Paulette also has an obstruction of law enforcement officer that we would be proceeding.
I don't know if Sloan got all the same charges, but it was arising from the same incident. So I'm just eyeball both cases to see how the state wants to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor.
35, Laverne Williams, and 36, Antonio Griffin are both no shows.
Your Honor, I believe those are to be, well, we will place those on the show cause calendar, Your Honor, so I can look into that further.
All right. 37, 38, 39, and 40 are pretrial diversion. 41 should have shown up, would have been pretrial diversion most likely, but right now is reset to March 18. For show cause, unless we can get her into pretrial diversion as well. She's all part of the big soiree at the compound. Okay. Position 42 is transferred to the Superior Court as a felony charge. All right. Okay, Mr. Hunter apparently is vacillating between probation and wanting to pay the fine. I hope
I'm paying the
that
fine, but you say I needed to pay, I need to write this information. I need to fill out this form or whatever.
you need to fill out all 5 pages and have
Right.
it sent to Ms. McCutcheon by
So-
now.
So I just printed them out, and I know you all seen it, and I'm actually trying to fill the paperwork out now.
Mr. Hunter, you have 10 more minutes, or I'm going to reset this case to next Friday, and we're going to do this all over again. Because I think you have been extremely impolite with regards to the delay. So I'm going to give you 5 more minutes to get this thing wrapped up.
Is it 10 or 5?
5. You've already had 10 minutes.
Okay, but ask her,
Your Honor.
can you still pay the fine?
Yeah, that's what I'm she the one who giving me a hard time. I'm saying I want to pay the fine, but she's saying I still need to fill out all this paperwork.
Oh.
And she's saying I have 5 minutes to fill out the paperwork. And what I'm trying to tell her, oh, God, these people.
Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Ms. Gant, yes?
Yes, Your Honor. May I be excused? My
Oh,
business
yes,
concluded.
definitely. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, any other counsel who's not in this case with Mr. Hunter, he are free to go, except of course, Ms. McCutcheon.
Can you give me information that I need to fill out this paperwork?
Ms. McCutcheon, that's your provision. Thank you.
Mr. Hunter, I'm not quite certain what you're asking.
One, it says I have discussed the case with my client.
Okay, I think that says not applicable. Do you see where I've written in not applicable there?
Okay, so disregard that piece of paper.
Right, it says not applicable, correct?
Right.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so this other page says, I hereby plead not guilty on this date, on the blank date.
It says guilty. It should say guilty / not guilty. Is that what it says?
No, it's 2 sides of this piece of paper. Hold on one second, if you can see.
Right, you're gonna check what is appropriate. If you're pleading guilty, then you're gonna indicate that there's on one side it says not guilty, on the other side it says guilty. You're going to check what is applicable.
Can I plead not guilty and still pay this fine? Pay whatever you all.
No, I can't advise you. I cannot advise you, Mr. Hunter. If you are pleading not guilty, then you would indicate you're pleading not guilty to the court. If you're pleading guilty, then these are the forms that we would use, and you would indicate if you're pleading guilty. But I cannot advise you how to plead.
I'm pleading not guilty, and it says I hereby plead not guilty on the blank day of blank. So that means today.
Mr. Hunter, the form is for those persons who are pleading guilty or those persons who are pleading not guilty. If you're pleading guilty, you would indicate that appropriately on the form. If you're pleading not guilty, then we go back before the judge and you would tell the judge that you want to plead not guilty, and you would inform the judge as to how you want to proceed, either by bench trial or jury trial.
Right. And what I'm asking you is that while I'm filling out this paperwork, I mean, you saying I have to fill it out, and I'm finna plead not guilty is what I'm saying.
You want to plead not guilty?
What you mean? I'm saying,
Ask her if you plead guilty, can you just pay the fine?
Yeah, so
okay, we need to go back before the judge then, Mr. Hunter. We need to go back before the judge.
If I plead guilty, I pay the fine. I still just go ahead and pay the fine. That's what I'm saying.
Regardless, if you're pleading guilty, regardless of whether or not the state is going to recommend probation or the fine, those forms must be completed.
Right. And that's what
Right.
And that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. So, and I'm telling you what I'm doing now. And I'm telling you, I'm still gonna pay the fine so we can just close this
Well,
out.
no, in order to pay the fine, that means you're pleading guilty. If you're pleading not guilty, we need to go back before the judge.
Oh, okay, I see. All right. Plead guilty, no local. So today is the 25th. On this 25th day of what month we in? February 2022. Okay. Defendant. I just put my name, I guess. That's for you to sign. Okay. I waive the right. I waive the right to assistance of counsel. I guess I just put my name. The day of 25th. 2/22. And what do I sign? Oh, I waive. Hold on. I waive. I understand that I have the right to a jury trial. That is to have my case heard by a jury. So I'm gonna just put an X by that. I don't know. 25th, 2nd, 2022. This is the last page. Do you offer this plea freely and voluntarily with full understanding? I don't stand under anything, but I guess that's what her. So yeah, I guess this is ready to be printed back out, I guess.
Okay.
So
I have to scan them in.
Okay, so I guess look, I mean, because I'm saying, look how they left it. What am I supposed to sign? You see what I'm saying? So I guess.
And this. Okay, see if she's still on there.
Yeah, she's still here.
Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can ask it. I want to ask if I can speak. I don't see her.
Ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Hunter. Mr. Hunter, I can't give you any advice. I can only tell you that's the paperwork that I present to you as a prosecuting attorney, but I cannot advise you, sir, as to how to complete it.
Judge, can I say something? I'm getting ready to, he doesn't have a computer, so that's what took him so long, because my computer was locked. And
all right,
so
what's the question? What's the question, please?
So I'm getting ready to scan the documents and email them now.
Has he completed, has he checked off all the boxes where he understands his waiver of rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead and send that in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Scan whatever you have, and we'll deal with that.
All right. Thank you.
And I'm going to mute, please, Mr. Hunter, please mute your screen unless you want the whole world to hear what's going on. Okay. Ms. Sasha Moon, welcome to the arraignment calendar. Are you ready? Shasta Yvonne Moon is position 22. Miss Riley, would that be your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Miss Moon, if you'd like to unmute the screen, please.
Oh, hi, Judge. Yes, I was saying that I had just got to my mailbox
and I just got this letter, and I'm sorry for being late. I literally just received the letter at 1:31.
I'm just glad you made it. You have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything you say, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, the case would be, you would need to apply for the services of the public defender's office.
Okay.
I've already released our public defense attorneys. So if you like to fill out an application, you would need to reach out to this email. Are you ready?
Hold on just 1 second. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. The email address is one word, State Court PD, P as in Peter, D as in Denmark,
Okay.
at fultoncountyga.gov.
Okay.
All right. We have prosecutor Ms. Riley, who has a possible offer to give you if you want to resolve your case. You have the option of not speaking to her, or you have the option of speaking to her to see if you can resolve the case. You were cited for theft by shoplifting. And if there is some grounds for resolution, you may speak to her to see if that's possible. She's on the Zoom. Would you like to speak to her?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Jordan, if you could place Sashta Moon and Ms. Riley in a breakout room, please. And Ms. McCutcheon, as soon as you receive the paperwork from Mr. Hunter's home office, you can forward that to either Ms. Petrona or Ms. Strong. Forward it to Ms. Strong. That would be best.
Yes,
Thank
Judge, I will. Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Riley, what's the announcement for Ms. Moon?
Your Honor, Ms. Moon will be referred to the pretrial diversion program.
Okay. Ms. Sasha Moon? Ms. Riley, do you have her email address?
Yes, Your Honor, it is her first and last name at ymail.com.
All right, Ms. Moon, the prosecutor's office is going to be considering your case for pretrial diversion. If you are accepted, they will email you all the paperwork for you to fill out and begin the program of completing the conditions of that particular option. Once you've completed all the conditions, they will dismiss the case, or I'm not sure. Is it a dismissal otherwise then, Ms. Riley?
Once they complete the program, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So your case is going to be further notice for pretrial diversion, and then the state will let me know about the outcome of your case.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm glad you did show up and we got this resolved, and hopefully it will be behind you very soon.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're free to go. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Ms. McCutcheon, we good?
Let check my emails, Your Honor. And I'm getting ready to send the juvenile transfer order for that case for juvenile court. And I am checking. I still have not received an email from Mr. Hinton. But I'm sending to Ms. Strong as we speak the transfer to juvenile court order.
If you can send an email ping to Mr. Hunter, maybe he can respond and make sure he attaches the documents.
It's already sent.
A friend of mine, we used to work together in the Senate, Justice Stephen Breyer. And
Mr. Hunter, can you switch off the TV or lower the volume?
Mr. Hunter, I am checking my emails and I do not see anything from you. Is there a different name that will appear on the email?
No, K Hunter 3G at Yahoo.
Right, I've not received it.
Is she Michelle McCutcheon?
Yeah.
It would be the email, if you just reply back to the email that I sent to you and attach your documents.
But we didn't, go back to that.
Okay. Go back to the inbox and I'll
you clicked the wrong thing. Shoot. Yeah, that one.
And I'll just do it again. I didn't understand it. It didn't look right. Okay.
Just reply back to me.
Okay.
And then attach those documents.
Okay. It's not that easy. It's not doing that. Okay, show original message. Okay. It's not. Okay.
What about go here and say reply all? Maybe.
You can try that. Reply all, Mr. Hunter.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, so now I don't see the prompt to attach the document. I don't see.
But it ain't letting you reply to it. It should have brought up like.
Right, it's not letting me reply. So that's why I sent it to michelle.mccutcheon@fultoncountyga.gov. That's why I did it that way.
Did you? So is that the right email, Michelle.McCutcheon?
That's correct. Michelle with one L, MCCUTCHEON @fultoncountyga.gov, but I've not received anything.
Okay, let me try it again.
What is your name, ma'am? Is it coming from your email or will it be coming from Mr. Hunter?
It's coming from mine.
Right, I don't have anything and my folder's up to date, Mr. Hunter.
Oh, look, that's it right there.
That's it. Okay, I see it. Okay, I got it.
You ain't do nothing wrong. Go, hold on, wait. Scroll back down. One of these should have been.
Let me do reply again. Okay. when I tried to. Okay,
Oh, there you go. Scroll down. Right there.
that's it. Okay. Come on, stop it. Okay, let's do it again. Okay.
So you should have received them now.
I don't know what is the issue because I've not received it. I'm receiving other emails, but I'm not receiving that one from you, Mr. Hunter.
I just replied. It's there.
Did you try blind copying yourself? Is it coming back to you?
Okay, let's try that.
Okay.
If you try that, then, okay, I just got it. Let's see. I just have it. So let me open it up, Mr. Hunter, and see what we have here. I see that you did not sign your waiver of a jury. You did not sign your waiver of counsel form. You should have signed both where it says, I waive the right to the assistance of counsel. Also, where you signed at the very bottom, you waive a jury trial, but you also should have signed where it says, I waive the right to I waive the right to counsel.
Oh, okay. You should have signed right there. And then what was the other?
Right here. I waive the right to assistance of counsel. I think that's what she's talking
And
about.
also, Mr. Hunter, where it says I plead guilty on this 25th day of 2, you need to put in that it's February. And is that your signature? It looks as if it's a line. If that's your signature, then you also need to print because it looks like it's just a line. So if that is your signature, then sir, I ask that you also print your name besides what you've indicated is your signature.
Yeah, that needs to say February 2022. So you need to just try to change that and put FEB 20. You put 2. That says February, but I guess she wants you to write it out.
Right,
So
and correct. And every place that you have signed where you have made a mark indicating that is your signature, would you also print your name so that we know that that is your signature, because it looks as if it's just a line or an X.
All you need is an X. You don't need my full.
But I did not print your name on the document where it says defendant, so I would ask that you print it on the document, please, Mr. Hunter.
Okay, so on the defendant's waiver right to counsel, I waive the right of counsel. And I think it's this line right here where it says defendant.
That's correct.
So you need to sign right there and date it. Okay, sign right there and date it. 2/25/22.
And the X is not the X is not your signature, Mr. Hunter. Where you indicate an X, you need to print out. If you're saying the X is your signature, then you should print your name. I see also where it says the right to remain silent, not testify, and calls for your initial, you've also put an X. If that is your name, then that signature, then you need to also print your name.
Okay, so print your name right there.
It's for a print, but my thing is, you asking me to sign. I don't have to sign into my. All you need is an X. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand what she's talking about.
We'll have to go back with the judge, Mr. And you can make whatever response you want to the court. So I'll see if the judge is ready. I'm going to forward these documents to the clerk's office.
Okay, so you don't want me to send these back?
Yes, the waiver of counsel, you need to send that because that has to be signed. He has, Mr. Hunter, you have signed that you're waiving the right to a jury trial. The paragraph above that, you have to also sign indicating that you are waiving your right to the assistance of counsel.
Okay, which is right here. And this is where she said you need to print your name. Then right here, you need to print your name. Okay, so I need to send that back to her. Okay, so that's that page, ma'am. And so what's this page right here? You need to print your name. And then voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently waive my right to trial by jury or judge. And you need to sign that.
Sign or print?
Yeah, that's good. And then I think that's it. Ma'am, was that it?
Have you signed? There were 5 pages. One of them I printed in bold font, not applicable because you do not have an attorney, so you don't need to sign that one. But you
Correct.
signed, you've completed all of the other 4 pages, Mr. Hunter?
We have 3. What was the 4th page? We have 3 pages. I sent you.
There was
Oh,
3 pages, and then there was the waiver of counsel page, and then there's a verdict form. Let me look
It
at what you
was.
have. Let me look at what you have here. You have signed the, you have not signed the waiver of counsel. You're going to do that, correct? Originally, you had not done that. I'm looking at the plea and verdict form. You have signed that. I'm looking at the offer this plea freely and voluntarily. You have indicated that that is your signature on that.
I found the 4th page, ma'am.
Okay.
I forgot to give it to him.
All right.
Okay, and so that's where you need to sign your name.
Sign, this is a signature, right?
Yeah, but she said if that's gonna be your signature, you're gonna have to print out your name.
That's correct. So that the court is aware that that indication, that scribe that you have placed on that paper, that that is your signature. And that is
Okay.
your name.
Okay, so now I have to rescan these and send them all back to you?
No,
Okay. So ma'am, do you want me to rescan them and send them
Yes,
back?
yes, please. Uh-huh.
Okay, now
You talking about this, it's okay, where it says, do you understand that by entering this plea, that initial,
Let's go back before the court. Maybe, let's see, let's go back before the court, Mr.
what I'm saying,
Hunter.
what do I put that I'm saying?
No, that you initial that. Okay, now let me start scanning these so I can, and let me put these.
Madam Clerk, Ms. Strong, are you still on? Have you received the email with the documents Mr. Hunter forwarded to the state?
Yes, we've received the email.
Okay. Is this Ms. Strong or is this the judge?
Let me go ahead and start my video.
Oh, you don't need this.
Judge, there seems to be some issue as to Mr. The scribe that Mr. Hunter uses for his signature. It looks as if it's an X. If that's acceptable to the court, I had asked him to print his name beside that indication of his signature, and I believe that's what the delay is now. I'll just inquire of the court if that's sufficient for the court.
That's fine. I'll accept it and I'll have it on record that he's acknowledging the documents he's just emailed. That's his signature.
All right,
So
thank you, Judge.
that's
Then I
fine.
think that I think the only document the defendant did not send back was the document that I had typed not applicable, and that was the document where if he had an attorney, the attorney would have said that the attorney was representing him. So I believe we have everything, Your Honor.
So you just print them. This page we don't need.
Of course, Your Honor, the state's plea paperwork indicated the probation the probation recommendation. It's my understanding that is now something that Mr. Hunter does not want to accept. He wants to alternatively accept a fine. I'm not quite certain at this point, Your Honor.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Okay. Mr. Hunter, am I waiting for more documents? Are we ready to proceed?
I believe we're ready, Judge.
All right, Mr. Hunter, if you'd like to have a seat and, or if you're more comfortable that way, we can proceed with the plea. This is State versus Kenton Chanel Hunter, case number 20 COB 000317, in which he's been cited for criminal trespass. This is a calendar that was scheduled in order to, an arraignment calendar, at which time Mr. Hunter has waived his right to counsel, has not applied for the services of the public defender's office, and has instead chosen to represent himself. He has been advised of the perils of representing himself, as well as the responsibility of understanding how the law applies to the facts of his case and how it may impact any other personal matters with regards to him. Mr. Hunter, can you complete and scan in the one document that says defendant's waiver of right to counsel. As Ms. McCutcheon has indicated, you have not, I don't know if you've read it. You've clearly read the part about waiver of a jury trial, but you've not signed or acknowledged your waiver of right to counsel.
Okay, that's being scanned in.
As soon as Ms. McCutcheon indicates you've received that document, I can proceed.
I will, Judge. Yes. Okay, Judge, I'm opening the email now. Let me.
Well, I haven't sent it yet.
Haven't sent it yet.
Oh, well, I just received an email from you.
Oh, that's she receiving them other emails late.
Yeah, that's probably what it
That's
is.
probably it.
I'm gonna go ahead and send those. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go reply again.
Yeah. And then hit it. Attachment area, erase down.
And then
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. See, it should be, it's sent now.
I think
Okay, I'm waiting for it. Apparently there's some delay on your end with them coming through.
Yeah, the network is probably slow.
Right.
Let me get this one. Let me know when you got it, because it should have.
Yeah, you know, the super fast AT&T network that we upgraded to.
Oh, Lord.
I don't see nothing fast about it.
I have not received it yet.
Okay, says it's coming.
It says sent, so
okay.
It's going to be that same delay that you just had a few minutes ago.
Oh, that's somebody trying to.
So it's sent. I mean, she should have got it by now.
I'll send it again.
Oh, I don't hear. Oh. Did you receive it?
No, Mr. Hunter, I have still not received it. The last email I have from you says 2:06. Okay, something just came in. I think it's delayed getting them from your server for some reason. So one just popped up. So that should be it. Let me just look. That is the defendant's waiver of right to counsel. And I see your signature. Okay. Yep, I have it. Okay. We'll let the judge, and I'll forward, Your Honor, I'm forwarding this to the clerk.
All right, Mr. Hunter, if you'd like to come back to the video, please. It's confirmed that we have received your signed waiver of counsel. Hopefully you've also read the information that you, in choosing to proceed self-represented, that you are representing yourself, although you may be unfamiliar with the law, that you are required to understand how it applies to the facts of your case, that you would be responsible for understanding that any decision you make, how it would impact upon any personal matters of your particular situation. Is that your understanding, sir?
I comprehend.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your response.
I comprehend.
Okay. For purposes of this negotiated plea, Mr. Hunter, thank you. I've received your waiver of counsel. I'm signing that. All right. Mr. Hunter, the options that were presented to you was either 12 months of probation. It would be non-reporting with the requirement that you have to see your probation officer at least the first time in order to create your probation case. And then after that, it would be non-reporting. You don't have to pay
I'm paying the
fees.
fine.
Listen. You don't have to pay probation fees and you won't be reporting. That was option number one. Option number two was payment of a $75 fine, which would require you to pay $75 in fine to the Fulton County State Court. In addition to the fine, the Fulton County State Court has additional fees, and they are, with regards to the fees, it adds up to a total of $106.25. So that would be the total amount that you would need to bring down to the Fulton County State Court in order to make your payment.
All right.
Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you provide for purposes of this plea will be the truth, to the best of your knowledge?
Correct.
And Mr. Hunter, Ms. McCutcheon has voiced some concerns about the nature of your signature. You have emailed documents to Ms. McCutcheon, which has been forwarded to our courtroom. And I'm looking at this signature, which appears to be a K and some kind of scribble like an X or an H, and then a line next to it. Is that, as you are saying under oath, is that your signature?
Yes.
All right. I will accept these signatures. Ms. McCutcheon, what is the offer being provided to Mr. Hunter?
Judge, the state had recommended on a plea of guilty to criminal trespass that the defendant be sentenced to 12 months probation, that while on probation, it could be non-reporting probation after he initially, of course, signs up with the probation department, but that a condition of that probated sentence would be that he is not to return to the Shell gas station located at 1720 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, nor is he to have any contact with any of the employees or patrons at that location. Alternatively, the recommendation was that the defendant pay a $75 fine plus associated court costs in Stanter. And Judge, the state would have expected the evidence in this case to have shown that on June 7th of 2020, at that location I just advised the court of, officers responded and spoke with the defendant at about 1:00 a.m. in the morning regarding an alleged theft he reported had occurred involving some items in his vehicle. Officers took a report. They then were notified at 2:43 on that same incident date by DeWitt Endale, one of the employees at that Shell gas station, that the defendant was involved in a verbal dispute with the employee, and the employee wanted the defendant to be told to leave the property. The officers told the defendant he needed to leave the property, and if he returned, he would be arrested. At 04:52 hours on that same morning, officers again were dispatched to that location, this being the third time on that date. And the defendant again was saying that he wanted to report a theft, but the officers had already received that information. He was then charged with criminal trespass and charged and not booked into the jail, given the height of the national pandemic when defendants charged with this offense were not being booked into the Fulton County Jail. So that is a factual basis, Judge, and my recommendation is based on the defendant's prior criminal history. He does have prior cycles of arrest and convictions. And so that is the reason the state makes the recommendation that it has made, and the state believes is fair and just and reasonable.
All right. And Mr. Hunter, from the state's recitation, I understand that you are accepting the alternative of paying a $75 fine plus the court costs for a total of $106.25 to be paid directly to the court's treasury. Is that correct?
Correct.
And if you are agreeing to this plea of guilty, do you also agree with regards to the state's case that they have cited the correct defendant?
Can you repeat that?
Are they talking to the right person?
Have they cited the right person, the correct defendant? In other words, you are agreeing to the identity of the defendant.
Yeah.
And do you also agree to the proper venue of this citation being in Fulton County, Georgia?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Hunter, are you under the influence of any kind of medication or alcoholic beverages at the present time?
No.
And I'm sorry, you need to keep your face on the video screen. Thank you. And have you understood the proceedings as they've happened so far?
I comprehend.
And have you understood the paperwork that was submitted to you, to which you have reviewed and signed off on?
Yeah, I've done it.
Have you understood the paperwork that was submitted to you for review?
Oh, I comprehend.
If you decide to take this guilty plea, Mr. Hunter, you would have to waive your constitutional rights to go back to court, to have a trial before a judge or a jury, to confront your accuser, examine witnesses, cross-examine witnesses, have the assistance of counsel to challenge the state's evidence, as well as present any defenses you may have. You would also have to waive your right to have the state try to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these constitutional rights?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything in exchange for your plea of guilty?
No.
Is anyone forcing you to take this plea?
No. You are.
Don't say it.
I'm not accepting this plea. This case will be scheduled for a trial if you are under any kind of duress from the court to take this plea. Mr. Hunter, I'm going to expect you to come to court on April 22nd, 2022 at 11:30 a.m., excuse me, for a bench trial.
Can you explain why do I have to come to court if I'm paying?
Because the court has the discretion to decide whether you're making a voluntary and knowing and intelligent waiver of your rights and entering a voluntary plea. As you have just responded under oath that the court is forcing you to take this plea. In that regard, the court is not.
I didn't say the court.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say the court is forcing me to do anything. You asked the question.
I think your companion in that room just agreed that you responded. If anyone forcing you to take the plea, you responded, yes, you are.
No, I didn't respond yes to anything. I said no.
Sir, I'm not comfortable with your responses. Ms. McCutcheon, am I incorrect when the court inquired of Mr. Hunter whether if anyone was forcing him to take the plea, he indicated, yes, you are.
Your Honor, I'll state in my place that is exactly what I heard.
You heard you are. You heard no, and then I said you are, but how do you know if I'm talking to you or anybody in this room?
Mr. Hunter, you shall appear in court on April 22nd, 2021 at 11:30 a.m. for a bench trial. You may hire an attorney or you may choose to represent yourself and we will proceed to trial. A failure to appear for your bench trial on that date will result in a bench warrant being issued for your arrest. Thank you.
So why can't we just finish this out now, what we were doing?
Because the court is convinced that you are not entering this plea voluntarily and waiving your constitutional rights. And as you've indicated that the court is forcing you to do so.
The court is not forcing me. I just told you, I'm the one answering the questions. Ain't nobody is forcing me or coercing me anything. That's so I don't get what you're saying.
Mr. Hunter, this matter is concluded. We expect you in the courtroom in G33 on April 22nd. Thank you.
Your Honor, respectfully on behalf of the state, when the defendant appears, if the defendant wishes to go forward with a bench trial, the state would respectfully ask that he fill out the waiver to a jury trial form at that time.
Which?
All right, he will do so at that time. All right, we'll see you on the 22nd of April. Thank you, Mr. Hunter.
Thank you.
This concludes this court.
All right, thank you. Good day, Your Honor.